What's up, guys? It is Frankie here. It is Super Wildcard Weekend in the 2020 NFL season. It's time to make some predictions. We finally made it. Regular season done. 14 teams left. Only one will be Super Bowl champions. It's time to see who that will be. We start with the first of the three Saturday games. Colts and Bills. The Bills are 7-point favorites. Buffalo looks so good right now. They've won 6 straight. They just beat a Miami team that was trying to get into the playoffs. They beat them by 30. Indianapolis, not looking so good. Lost to, blew a 17-point lead against Pittsburgh. Barely beat Jacksonville. Indianapolis, again, they've had a nice season. They've had a good season. Philip Rivers has done a solid job. The offense has done all right. But you just look at Buffalo's offense, especially right now. It has got such a great, with Allen, with Stephon Diggs, who have, again, just been a great combination this year. It just looks like it's going to be very difficult here for Indianapolis. And it looks like fans are going to be allowed in Buffalo, so that will certainly add to that atmosphere. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of references about how Frank Wright led the Bills to a comeback over the Oilers the Colts, so I'm sure there'll be a million references about that in the game, and leading up to the game. But in this game, I think the Bills do pull it off. Again, just top to bottom, they're a much better team right now than Indianapolis. I say that continues here. Give me the Bills, -7. Rams and Seahawks. The Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites. I have to go with Seattle here. First of all, how good Russell Wilson is, and obviously he's been the reason why they're still here. I mean, if they're going to go far, they're going to need more weapons, but he's done such a great job without the weapons that he's been able to get them in the playoffs this year. Fantastic as always. The Rams, I have no idea who's starting. That's a big problem. Is it going to be Jared Goff? Is it going to be John Wolford looking for another sensational performance in a row? But because of that uncertainty, I'm going to have to go with Seattle here. Even if Goff does play, and I was thinking about maybe taking the Rams, but even if Goff does play right now, it's just too... I can't say for certain right now. I can't definitively say who's starting. So in that regard, I'm going to have to take Seattle here. I think Seattle wins. They pull it off. Wilson will do enough. The defense will step up, I think, a little bit here. And that will lead to a Seattle win here. Give me the Seahawks, -4.5 over the Rams. The Buccaneers and the Washington to be determines. Tampa Bay, an 8-point favorite. Credit to Washington on getting to the playoffs here. Thanks to Doug Peterson's just garbage coaching decision. But Alex Smith, great story. Ron Rivera, great story. If you're not rooting for any team here in the playoffs, how can you not root for Washington? Well, except for Dan Snyder. You'd want to root against Dan Snyder. But Alex Smith and Ron Rivera are two fantastic stories. We've heard about them all year. Alex Smith was almost losing his leg, coming back. Ron Rivera having cancer, coming back, winning the NFC East. So credit to those two, and credit to the whole Washington team for their resilience. But I think the clock will strike midnight on this team. Tampa Bay has got an excellent offense as well. Tom Brady really stepping into high gear here. I mean, Brady with 40 touchdowns. How old is he? And he just 40 touchdowns. He is remarkable. Tampa Bay's offense is looking so good, and Washington they have won the NFC East, but they have not looked very good outside of playing against the NFC East. So I think in this game, Tampa will win this one, and win this one pretty handily. I think this will probably be the biggest blowout of the week. Sorry, Washington. It's just too much here. Give me Tampa Bay, -8 over Washington. One interesting stat, by the way, before I go. The two teams that have been under 500 that have made it to the playoffs, both won their first playoff game. The Seahawks in 2010 beat the Saints. The Panthers in 2014 beat the Cardinals. So it could happen here again, but I say no. Give me the Buccaneers, -8. Now we move on to the Sunday games. Ravens and Titans. The Ravens are 3.5-point favorite. Really thought about this one. Thought about this one hard. Baltimore just had an explosive end of this season. Lamar Jackson looks like vintage Lamar Jackson. And again, by Lamar Jackson, I mean 2019 Lamar Jackson. Again, they have looked so good. Lamar, the whole offense has really picked it up. They've won their last 3 games by a combined score of 80-30. They're just looking so ridiculously good here. And they lead the NFL in rushing right now. Or at least they did before today, or before yesterday. But yeah, J.K. Dobbins, Lamar, again, so good here. I want to take the Ravens. And they're probably a better team than Tennessee. The thing is, I keep reminding myself about the last couple of years, and the Ravens have choked in big games. We saw it in 2018 against the Chargers. We saw it in 2019 against the Titans again. Rematch of that shocking upset last year. So I've seen this happen before, and for now, I can't trust the Ravens in a big game. The Ravens should win this game. They are probably a better team. They're more, especially better on defense. But I need to see them actually come through in a big game. I actually see them need to perform in a big game. So for that reason, I'm going to take Tennessee. And also because Derrick Henry coming off a ridiculous year, I think he will continue his pace. Him and Tannehill will be a nice combination here. And I think that will lead to a Tennessee win. And the Ravens not showing up. I think that will lead to... If the Ravens win next week, then I'll probably pick them against whoever it is that they play against. But, well, it depends on who they're playing, but I need to see them deliver. I need to see them perform in a big game, and they're 0-2 now. So I think this is a sneaky good pick here to take Tennessee. Give me the Titans plus 3.5 over the Ravens. Bears and Saints. The Saints are 9.5-point favorites. Okay. So Kamara looks like he'll be out. Michael Thomas looks like he'll be out. Drew Brees not getting a bye to rest his ribs. From all indications, it looks like this will be his last season. Which, fair, sad to see. One of the great quarterbacks of all time. And it'd be crazy if he only made it to one Super Bowl. So, all that. I'm still taking the Saints to win here, but without Kamara, without Thomas, probably. And again, I have no idea if they'll be back. And if he does, Kamara with COVID, I believe he had COVID. Either he had COVID or he was on the reserve list. If he had COVID, again, we don't know what guys look like after COVID. So with Kamara, with Thomas, without them, it looks like this might be a big defensive battle here. And I think especially here, I think that will benefit Chicago. I still think Chicago will lose the game. I think New Orleans will pull it off. But I just think Chicago will do a good job limiting the Saints receivers, and they'll keep it close. I think this will be a close, interesting game here, a defensive battle. But in the end, the Saints will pull it out. So 9.5. If it was like 3.5, 4.5, I'd take the Saints, but it's 9.5, huge spread. So that tells me to take Chicago here. Give me the Bears plus 9.5 over the Saints. And the final wild card weekend game, Browns and Steelers. The Steelers are 4-point favorite. This is a big matchup here. AFC North battle. Cleveland finally in the playoffs for the first time since 2002. The Steelers were the dominant team all season long and then came unglued at the end. Interesting matchup. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh here. Again, it's close. It's not an easy prediction here because Cleveland's been playing well, but it's just Pittsburgh looking really good. They're more experienced. I think that will help them out. These are a bunch of guys playing for the first time. That win against Indianapolis really made me think that, okay, this team, if they had lost Indianapolis, I'd probably take Cleveland. But because they beat Indianapolis and they made me think that they're back on the right track, I think that they'll win. I think they'll probably lose to either the Chiefs or the Bills. But for now, for this week, I think the Steelers beat Cleveland here. They're at home, whatever advantage that has, and they get the win and move on to the next round. This might be the most fun game of the week, but in the end, Pittsburgh, I think, prevails. Give me the Steelers -4. So those are my picks for Super Wildcard Weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel and you like what you see, make sure you subscribe down below for more content just like this every single week. Don't know when I'll be back. I'm very busy with a bunch of other videos right now. That's why I wasn't able to do a video yesterday. But maybe I'll put out something here in the next couple of days about Adam Gase getting fired or all the craziness that happened yesterday with the NFL. But yeah, if you want to see more and if you want to stay up to date on everything I'm doing, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell below. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. God bless.